Hey guys, in this video we will be making a crochet top. To do this we will be using a size 4 medium weight yarn and a 5.5mm hook. There are 3 different sizes for this top: a small, which measures 32 inches around, a medium, which measures 37 inches around, and a large, which measures 44 inches around. You will be able to adjust the length of the straps and the fringe according to your liking. To get started doing this, we will start with a chain of 10, and if you need to see how to do this or anything else in this video with more detail, I will link videos for those in the description below. After chaining 10, we are going to slip stitch into the first chain of the 10 and form a ring. And for row 1, we will start with a chain of 6, which counts as a triple crochet and a chain 2, and then we will triple crochet around the ring and chain 2. And we will repeat this 10 more times so that we will then have 12 triple crochets and 12 chain 2 spaces. When you get all the way around, you will end with a chain 2, and we will slip stitch into the 4th chain of the beginning 6. And that should give us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 triple crochets and 12 chain 2 spaces. For round 2, we will start by slip stitching into the next chain space, so that we start off in this chain space. And we will chain 2, which counts as a double crochet with the last loop on the hook, and then we will start 3 more double crochets, leaving the last loop on the hook in this same chain space, and then bring them all together for a 4 double crochet cluster. We will then chain 5 and work another 4 double crochet cluster in the next chain space, and repeat this all the way around by chaining 5 and repeating this same thing all the way around. When you get to the end of that row, you will end with a chain 5 and slip stitch into the top of the first 4 double crochet cluster. For row 3, this will be the row that we start doing slight differences for each size. So if you're doing a size small, this will be your last row. If you're doing a size medium, you will have this row and 1 more row, and if you are doing a size large, you will have this row and 2 more rows. Each size is worked exactly the same way with different stitch counts, so I will be letting you know when and where those differences are as we go. I will be working a size large so that I can work it all the way through. So for row 3, for all sizes, we will start out with a chain of 4, which counts as a double crochet and a chain 1. We will then single crochet around the next chain space. For a size small, we will then chain 3. For a size medium, we will chain 6. And for a size large, we will chain 7. We will then, for all sizes, single crochet around the next chain space, and again for all sizes we will chain 1 and double crochet around the next chain space 5 times. Again for all sizes we will chain 3 and double crochet around the same chain space 5 more times. Still, for all sizes, we will chain 1 and single crochet around the next chain space, and this is where the difference was. So if you are doing a size small, you will chain 3. If you are doing a size medium, you will chain 6, and if you are doing a size large, you will chain 7, and then single crochet around the next chain space, and repeat this all the way around. When you get to the last corner, you will want to do 5 double crochets around this chain space, chain 3, and then work 4 double crochets around this same chain space, because we will be slip stitching into the 3rd chain of that beginning 4, so that counts as our 5th double crochet. And as I said, this will be the last row for the size small. So if you're working a size small, you should have a straight line right here instead of this hump, and that will be your square. If you're working a size medium, yours should look almost exactly like this with a slightly smaller hump. And if you're working a size large, this is what it should look like after row 3. You will want 8 squares no matter which size you are working, small, medium, or large. You will want to make 8 squares. For row 4, if you are doing a size medium, this will be your last row, and we will start off with a chain of 5, which counts as a double crochet and a chain 2. If you are doing a size large, we will do a chain of 7, which counts as a double crochet and a chain of 4. For both sizes, we will then single crochet around the next chain space, and for a size medium, we will chain 2, and a size large, we will chain 4. We will keep this same chain amount for this whole round for whichever size you are working. We will then double crochet for both sizes into this next double crochet, and we will work 1 double crochet in each stitch until the corner. When you get to the corner, you will work 3 double crochets in this chain space for both sizes. Then we will chain 3 and work 3 more double crochets in this same chain space, again for both sizes. Then we will continue on to work 1 double crochet in each double crochet stitch until we again come to the chain space. When you again get to the chain space, you will work whatever amount you need to for whichever size you are making. So for a medium, you will chain 2, for a large, you will chain 4, and single crochet for both sizes around the chain space. And then again, chain whatever amount you need for whichever size you are working, and then double crochet into the next double crochet stitch, and repeat this pattern all the way around. When you get all the way around and have double crocheted in all of those last stitches and come to your beginning chain, you will slip stitch into the 3rd chain of your beginning chain, whether it is the 5 or the 7. So if you are working a size medium, that is the last row for you. You should have 2 flatter lines here, and that is your square. And if you are working a size large, you should have these 2 little lumps here, and we will go on to work 1 more row. For the last round, round 5, for the size large, we will start with a chain of 4, which counts as a double crochet and a chain 1. We will then single crochet around the next chain space and chain 2, and single crochet around the next chain space and chain 1. We will then work 1 double crochet in the next double crochet and work 1 double crochet in each double crochet after that until we get to the corner. When you get to the corner, we will work the same pattern for this corner as we did for the last round. So we will work 3 double crochets in this chain space and 3 chains, and then we will work 3 more double crochets in this same chain space, and then we will continue to work 1 double crochet in the next 8 double crochet stitches until we get to the next chain space. When you have worked those 8 double crochets and come to the chain space again, we will chain 1 and single crochet around the next chain space, chain 2, and single crochet around the next chain space, and we will repeat this pattern all the way around. When you have made it all the way back around and have double crocheted in the last 7 stitches and are now back at this beginning chain 4, we will slip stitch into the third chain of the 4 and finish this off. So that is it for the large square. So finish this off, weave in your ends, and make 8 of these, or for whichever size you are making. When you get your squares made, we are going to start connecting them. So we're going to start with 2 with the front sides facing each other. And we are going to start in the very middle corner. So I have it in the middle chain of the 3 in the corner. And we are going to go through the stitch in the front square and the stitch in the back square all the way along and whip stitch these 2 together, making sure that this stitch gets on top of the square. And then we will go through the next stitch on the front and the next on the back, and again do this all the way down. When you have these 2 squares put together, you will then grab this third square and put it on top of this so that the 2 fronts are facing each other, and then whip stitch them together. Unfold it and then put this 4th one on top of this so that the 2 fronts are facing each other, and whip stitch it together. And then you will continue to put them together in this zigzag pattern. When you have all 8 of your squares put together in the zigzag pattern, you will now fold it over so that it matches on both sides, and you have this extra square on the end here. You'll want to make sure that these 4 corners are matched up, because this is where our straps will be, and this is the bottom of our shirt. So with this extra square here, we will now take this far corner and fold it over diagonally, and we will now connect these 2 sides here. So you want to pick it up so that it is facing like this, and whip stitch these 2 sides together. When you have got all of your pieces whip stitched together and flipped your work right side out and found the back bottom, we will now make a border around the bottom of the shirt. So this is the back and the bottom, but I have it flipped upside down because this is the right side of my work and I want to work a border here. I am also going to start a little bit here before where the 3 squares meet. So here's the middle of the square, the tip of the square, and this is where they are all meeting in the back. So I have already made a loop on my hook, and I'm just going to attach it to the back of my shirt by slip stitching it onto it just like this, and tighten that on there. And then we will start with a chain of 1 and single crochet into that same stitch. Then we will work 1 single crochet in each stitch until we come to that chain space where the 3 squares connect, and we will work 2 single crochets into this first chain space, 1 single crochet in the middle chain space, and then again 2 single crochets around the last chain space. And then we will continue to work 1 single crochet in all of these next stitches. And then depending on the size that you are doing, the middle of the square will be a little different, but you will want to work 1 single crochet for each chain that there is, and 1 single crochet for each single crochet. And then you will again continue on to do 1 single crochet for each stitch until you get to the tip corner where there are 3 chains, and you will want to work 3 single crochet, 1 for each chain, and do this all the way around until you come back to the first single crochet and slip stitch into this single crochet and finish it off. When you have finished with the border on the bottom of the shirt, we will move to the top to make the straps. So here are the 4 corners where I said the straps would be, and you will just connect your yarn with a slip stitch just like we did for the bottom anywhere along here on the back of the shirt, and work it the same way up until you get to this corner, and we will start here for the straps. When we get to this corner where the strap will be, we will single crochet 2 times around this chain space, and then you will chain as many as you would like to make the length of your strap. So to figure out what length you want your strap to be, you can either measure the length of your shoulder from the top of your shoulder to where you would like your shirt to sit, and times that by 2 for the front and the back, or you can measure a strap of a shirt that you have and make this the same length. So again, just chain as many as you need to make your strap. I'm going to make mine about 13 inches for this size large shirt. When you have worked your chain to be the desired length for your strap, we will move on to the corresponding corner for this strap on the front of our shirt. To get my strap to be 13 inches, I did work 48 chains. So again, moving on to this space that corresponds with our strap on the front of our shirt, we will work 2 more single crochets around this chain space, just like we did on the back side, and then we will continue the pattern of working a border around the top of our shirt until we come to the next tip corner on the other side of the shirt, just like this one that we worked our straps off of. When you come to the next tip corner, you will again want to work 2 single crochets into this chain space, and then work the exact same amount of chains that you worked for the other strap, and then connect it to the back of the shirt in the same way, and continue doing this border pattern all the way back until the first single crochet, and slip stitch into that and finish this off. When you have worked that all the way around and finished it off, you will now have this strap that is connected to both sides of the shirt, the front and the back, and you will have now created this somewhat of an armhole for our shirt. So we will now make a border around this armhole also by starting in the back, connecting it the same way, and working the same border all the way around until we get to this chain space, and we will work the other side of the strap. When you get to this chain space where your strap is, you will want to work 2 more single crochets in this same chain space, and then you will want to work 1 single crochet in the back of this chain for your strap, so you will want to have the same amount of single crochets as you have chains for your strap. When you have worked single crochets all the way across the strap and get to this chain space on the back of the shirt, we will single crochet 2 times in this chain space, and then continue on with the border pattern all the way until the beginning single crochet, where we will slip stitch into this stitch, and then we will do this same thing on the other armhole also. The last thing that we are going to do to this crochet top is add some fringe to the bottom. So to do that, I started with 2 pieces of 10-inch yarn and folded it in half, then inserted my hook into the stitch I wanted it in, hook the yarn onto the hook and pull that through the stitch, then pull the tail ends through the loop and pull that tight. Again, mine is 5 inches, so I started out with 10-inch pieces of yarn, and I put 2 pieces of yarn in every other stitch, but you can put as much or as little yarn as you would like for your fringe. And that's all there is to it for this crochet top. So I hope that that was enjoyable and helpful for you, and if it was, please hit that like button and leave me a comment and let me know what you think. And until next time guys, I'll see ya.